Selling your home isn't like selling a toaster on Craigslist or even going to meet somebody at the CVS parking lot to sell your used car. There can often be misunderstandings about what an as-is contract means when it comes to a real estate transaction. Recently, I had some sellers that we went under contract and the AC had gone out before the inspection. So the inspector notated that it wasn't working, and when the AC technician came over to check out the system, he told the seller of the house that, well, it didn't matter if the AC was working because the contract was as is, so they didn't have to do anything. Technically, the technician was correct, but there's a pretty big difference between what an as-is contract means up front in paper on the contract and what plays out in the end. So let's talk about that for a minute. When a buyer makes an offer for your home, they'll check off if the contract is as is or if the buyer is requesting any specific repairs and treatments. By far the majority of the contracts are done as is. An example of a specific repair or treatment might be the buyer asking the seller to paint a wall blue. Where the misunderstanding comes into play is the seller thinking that a real estate as-is contract is the same as selling your toaster and you never hear from the buyer again. The section of the contract where a buyer checks off as is also clearly states that a buyer still has the right to inspect the property, negotiate any repairs or treatments in a subsequent amendment, or terminate the contract during the option period. The option period is a number of days where the buyer usually will have a home inspected. What that means is that even if your contract is as is, the buyer still likely will do an inspection, and it's possible that they'll want to negotiate any repair items during that option period. You as the seller don't have any obligation to do any of those repairs, but then of course the buyer still has that termination option where they could terminate the contract if an agreement can't be reached. In addition to understanding the contract, you should also be aware that an as-is contract doesn't remove your responsibility as the seller to disclose items within your house that you know are defective. None of this should scare you when you're selling your home. In almost all the times, things work out just fine in the end. Something that you should consider when you're choosing to hire the realtor to help you to sell your house is how they're going to be able to handle these type of situations. We have a lot of experience and a proven track record of walking our clients from start to finish through the transaction, including the inspection process and understanding the contract. Whenever you're ready to start talking about selling your home or real estate contracts, or even what inspection items might pop up on your home, call me directly at 512-791-7473. Thanks for watching and make it a great day.